Today we're talking raw milk is creamier. No, it's not. Folks are confused. Let's talk about it. I'm seeing a lot of folks say, I love raw milk because it's creamier. This is due to confusion. Raw milk is not creamier. You're thinking of creamline milk. Now, milk can be both raw and creamline, but the thing you're thinking of is creamline. So, what does all this mean? Creamline milk is milk that has not been homogenized, so the cream rises to the top. Homogenization is when they make the milk go through little tiny nozzles. That breaks up the fat globules in the milk. The fat is in little tiny droplets. Fat is less dense than water, so it'll rise up to the top, unless you make those fat droplets really, really small, and then they don't do that anymore. The fat droplets get a little phospholipid membrane around them and turn into tiny little micelles. That membrane is fat soluble on one end and water soluble on the other, and so once they're small enough, they can actually have good contact with the water and stay mixed in with the water. And that's why whole milk is opaque and skim milk is kind of clear and blue. It's because it doesn't have those fat droplets in it. That is what makes milk, especially whole milk, that opaque color. Now, if you don't homogenize it, then those fat droplets are bigger and they rise up to the top, and you have what we call creamline milk. And the reason everyone says it's creamier is because when you take that first swig of it, it's cream. It's just cream on the top. You got a mouthful of cream. That's why it's creamier. Also, that's not happening because the milk is raw. It's happening because it's not homogenized. You can have milk that is pasteurized and not homogenized. I might need to make a flowchart. What raw milk means is milk that has not been cooked. It's like raw meat. It is just meat that's not been cooked. Raw milk is milk that has not been heated or pasteurized. You can do that and not homogenize it, right? So you can have creamline milk that has been pasteurized. You can have creamline milk that has not been pasteurized. You can technically have homogenized milk that hasn't been pasteurized. I don't think people do that. I don't know why you would. So is it raw or pasteurized? And is it creamline or homogenized? Are two totally different things, okay? If you like raw milk because it's creamier, no you don't. You like creamline milk. So if creamline milk is so creamy and delicious, why do we homogenize it? It's because the first few mouthfuls of creamline milk are amazing because they're just cream. And then the rest is skim milk. It's sad. It's watery. Nobody likes that. So one of the reasons we did that is just because what you're supposed to do with creamline milk is shake it before you use it. But if you have a family, you might notice that all of your family members are not that diligent about doing it, and then you can get fights and squabbles over, you used all the cream, and nobody wants that. The other reason is that creamline milk goes off faster. Dispersing the fat into the milk actually slows it down from chemical changes that can happen in the fat. When you have the fat in big globules, it can react with itself to form some funky off flavors, and it goes off very, very quickly. So a big reason most of the milk on the market is homogenized instead of creamline is because creamline starts to taste funky faster. That's why they had it delivered fresh every single day. So if you don't want to pay for daily milk delivery, you don't want to do creamline milk. So that's why people say, I like raw milk because it's creamier. That is a bit of a mix-up, and I don't blame people for not knowing the ins and outs of dairy processing. But if you're gonna get out there and tell people how things work, especially as a food or farm influencer, please do the work and know what you're talking about. That is all. Please be responsible and know what you're talking about before you become an influencer. Thank you, bye.